Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in this world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayers Live, page by page reading and commentary of the modern English version of the Bible. So, Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Happy New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is finally a brand new year. I'm looking forward to 2026. I hope many of you out there are. I hope that next year it's a prosperous year for those of you who follow me or listen to me for the right reasons. I have a lot on my plate already for the new year, which is good. I'm feeling healthy. My mind feels very clear. I feel very motivated. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and go back into the second book of Samuel, chapter 23, David's last words. Now these are the last words of David. The oracle of David, the son of Jesse, the oracle of the man who was raised on high, the anointed of God of Jacob, the favorite psalmist of Israel. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me, and his word was on my tongue. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spoke to me. He who rules over man justly, who rules in the fear of God, is like the light of the morning when the sun rises. Oh, hold on. I do not know why my, hold on. Hey, Google, stop. This is interesting. This is interesting. As soon as I started talking, my Google device started talking. Let me go ahead and turn that down. I'm sorry about that, folks, but maybe it was meant to be. In regards to the person who came into my chat, and I'm not going to restart this stream or anything because I do like certain people who are a member of the church I belong to know exactly what I'm contending with. I'm very aware of certain things that you and your group have been saying in regards to me. You are not welcome over on this channel. I ask that you go in peace and take me completely out of your mind. You know, sometimes I think some of you out there who think that you're faceless and anonymous think that certain things will not come back to you, but they will. So do not ever come back into this chat. Do not ever try to contact me further. Go in peace, and I hope that one day you figure out what life really is. Goodbye. All right. So I had a few things happen at once there, didn't I? Let's go ahead and start back from the beginning. To those of you who listen for the right reasons, I do apologize for that. David's last words. Now these are the last words of David, the oracle of David, the son of Jesse, the oracle of the man who was raised on high, the anointed of the God of Jacob, and the favorite psalmist of Israel. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me, and his word was on my tongue. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spoke to me. He who rules over man justly, who rules in the fear of God, is like the light of the morning when the sun rises, a morning with no clouds, gleaming after the rain, like grass from the land. Is not my house like this with God? For he made an everlasting covenant with me, ordered in all things and secure. For this is all my salvation and all my desire, Will he not make it flourish? But the worthless individual is like a thorn tossed away, all of them, for they cannot be taken with the hand. But the man who touches them must have an iron implement and the shaft of a spear, and they must be burned with fire on the spot. David's mighty warriors. These are the names of the warriors whom David had. Joseph, actually this is pronounced Josheb, Bashabeth, a Tachamonite, who was the head of the three. He was also known as Adino the Eznite on account of 800 slain on one occasion. After him was Eleazar, the son of Dodai, the son of Ohai. He was among the three warriors with David when they defied the Philistines who were gathered together there to fight when the men of Israel withdrew. He arose and attacked the Philistines until his hand grew weary and stuck to the sword. The Lord brought about a great victory that day, and the people returned only to plunder. After him was Shammah the son of Agi, the Hararite. The Philistines had gathered into a troop, where the plot of the field was full of lentils, and the people fled before the Philistines. He took his stand in the midst of the plot of land, defended it, and defeated the Philistines. The Lord brought about a great victory. Then 3 of the 30 chief men went down and came to David at the cave of Adullam during the harvest. Now the Philistine army was in the valley of Rephaim. At that time, David was in the stronghold, while the Philistine garrison was at Bethlehem. David said longingly, "Oh, that someone would give me a drink of water from the well in Bethlehem by the gate." The 3 warriors breached the Philistine camp and drew up water from the well in Bethlehem by the gate, and they brought it to David. However, he was not willing to drink it, so he poured it out as a drink offering to the Lord. He said, "Far be it from me, O Lord, to drink this, the blood of the men who risked their lives." So he was not willing to drink it. These things the warriors did. Now Abishai, the brother of Joab and son of Zeruiah, was chief of the 30. He wielded his spear against 300 men and killed them, and won a name beside the 3. Was he more honored than thee? Was he more honored than the 3? He became their commander, but he did not attain to the 3. And Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done great acts. He struck down 2 sons of Ariel of Moab. He also went down and killed a lion in the middle of a pit on a snowy day. He struck down an Egyptian, an impressive man. Now the Egyptian had a spear in his hand, but Benaiah went down to him with a staff, seized the spear from the Egyptian, and killed him with his own spear. These things Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, did and won for himself a name alongside the 3. He was more honored than the 30, but he did not attain to the 3. So David set him over his bodyguard. So this chapter is really just about the most notable times of certain warriors that are attached to David. And then there's a bit of a list here of various names. I'm not going to read through all of them. If you would like to read this for yourself, you can go to the second book of Samuel, chapter 23. I'm sorry to those of you who listen to me for the right reasons that this particular installment of my page-by-page reading and commentary of the Bible started off kind of rough. Sorry about that. Going forward, I might have some rather rough readings when it comes to people who come in here for the wrong reasons. As many of you know, I do a bit of philanthropy and I do a bit of activism and outreach when it comes to some communities that I, in hindsight, at times wish I had never known of, considering a lot of criminal activity within them. It was my spiritual path to go into those communities and do a few things that needed to be done. But those of you also who are on a spiritual path, you know that there's always an aftermath to the good that you do. And that's a bit of what I'm contending with right now as I move forward into other arenas of my life. Those of you out there listening for the wrong reasons, I'm going to say this to you once and once only. If you choose to participate in these Bible readings, you need to come in on an account to where you are easily identifiable. I'm not allowing alts anymore. And the reason as to why is because I have zero respect for people who believe that they can hide behind the mask of anonymity. I don't like it. If you are somebody of your worth, you don't mind people knowing exactly who you are. If you take issue with that, then you have zero place or foothold in my world or my existence. That's how I feel about it. I also feel that people need to have a little bit more respect for the Word of God. Don't come in here with your drama or your piddly complaints about things that I have absolutely nothing to do with. So, everyone have a great new year. Again, I'm sorry that this particular reading wasn't as it should have been, but we will be doing another reading tomorrow. We'll be going into the book of Samuel, chapter 24, second book of Samuel, chapter 24, which revolves around David's census of Israel and Judah, along with what else is covered? Judgment for David's sin, and it goes into the details of David building an altar. So, and I might do this tonight because I'm really not happy with how this particular reading went, considering someone trying to come in here who has no business ever trying to communicate with me. So have a great night. If you decide to go out, be safe. Do not drink and drive. Maybe get home early. There's no need to be out late. And anything else in my mind? Yeah. Those of you out there who think it's funny to wish death on someone, be real careful with that. And I'm going to tell you why. Sometimes this existence acts as a holding cell or a prison cell for some of the worst of the worst. And you have to keep in mind that death is not the end, it's the beginning. So let's say that there's somebody out there that you absolutely have nothing but disdain for, right? Let's say that you wish death on them. And let's say, theoretically, that they die. Life has a way of balancing out the moment that that person or group that you wish death on ceases to exist. Would you like to know what happens? Quite often, someone worse than who you want it dead enters your life and affects your life in a far worse way than you could ever imagine. So instead of wishing death on someone, perhaps just don't think about the person anymore. That's what I would suggest. But then again, a lot of you who listen to me for the wrong reasons simply are not that bright. And I've come to realize that. So have a good night. Thanks for listening. I'm Alexandra Mayers. Bye-bye.